Well, good morning, everyone. Delighted to welcome you all back again for the next in VTIC's Webinar Series. We're really happy to have so many people sign up for the webinar, and it looks like we've got just over 100 people out there listening, so that is a really, really great turnout. So welcome, everyone. Now, it's not about me, it's all the Reese and Andy show today, because Reese and Andy from Webfirm, our VTIC's digital marketing partner, are presenting today's webinar, and it's all about how to rank #1 on Google. And given the interest, obviously people are really keen to get as much as they possibly can, so I'll hand over to Reese and Andy.
Perfect. Yes, thank you. Well, we're already talking over each other. This is starting well. Thanks, Ian, for the very kind introduction. Look, every time we get the opportunity to speak to your members and I guess our colleagues across VTIC, we feel very lucky. And particularly today's topic is a very exciting one. So, Andy, welcome along.
Thanks,
you can
Reece.
speak now.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Excited to be here, guys. I was here for the previous webinar. Very excited for this one too. I've got a whiz-bang new microphone, so excited to see that cracking too.
It is looking quite flash. Hopefully we're coming through slightly clearer than usual.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, very excited to be here, and I think this is probably the most interesting topic that we've done, for sure.
Yeah. So without further ado, we will crack on with today's content. For those of you who are new on the call, and I do know that there are a few new VTIC members on the call, so welcome along. It's great to have you with us. But for those of you who aren't already aware of who we are, as Ian said, we're Webfirm. We are the digital partner of VTIC, and we're very proud to say that. We're a full-service digital agency, so I guess what that means is we do everything from right through from hosting through to designing great websites that deliver leads for your business, through to online marketing campaigns, so the full suite of marketing services that sit under that umbrella, right from SEO, content marketing, AdWords, display, social media management as well. Have I missed anything out, Andy?
That about covers it.
Yep.
I thought I might mention also just centre right. That's myself there.
Pointed at himself.
I think I must have said something quite funny there. Reese is just to the right of that. So just so you get a face to the names.
Perfect, thank you for that. And I've lost some ASX there. So we're ASX listed under our umbrella company AdSlot. We've been around in this industry for 15 years, so we think we know what we're talking about. And during that time, we've helped over 5,000 businesses, give or take. So today's webinar agenda, we'll cover off, I guess, a quick introduction of what we're covering off. We're going to be talking about SEO. So for those of you who don't know what SEO stands for, that's search engine optimization. We'll be looking at the then and the now. So what it used to be like maybe 5 years ago plus, through to what it looks like now. We're going to have a look at the Google search page, so we'll explain what we're looking at there and how I guess various parts of those pages are important for your business to take note of. We're going to break down the technical basic elements that your business must adhere to within this space. So there's a number of technical elements that you need to cover off for Google to ensure that you're ranking as high as you can organically on the search results for your business for the relevant keywords and terms. We'll look at how to ensure you are reporting your Google search rankings accurately. So that's really important. It's all very good to say that, hey, we're making things a whole lot more optimized and we're increasing your rankings, but it's important to know and to be able to rank that accurately. We're just taking a few selfies here for some social media, so forgive me for sounding slightly.
It'll be a great pick, Reese. It'll be a great pick.
Slightly distracted. We'll be looking at content and how the landscape's changed there, particularly with content marketing, and then we'll break down a few of the additional elements that you need to take into consideration with your Google search ranking. So there's some things that aren't necessarily, I guess,
indirect things that also add value to your rankings.
Perfect. Yes, so a few examples of that: social media, display advertising, as we mentioned before, AdWords, and a couple of other things as well.
Yep.
So we'll stop talking about the agenda and we will get into this content that that everyone has come along for today. So, page 1 of Google. It's valuable real estate. I'm going to ask the obvious question here, Andy, and I hope you've got a great answer to share with everyone today. Why is it so valuable? Why does everyone want to be on page 1?
Well, everyone does really want to be on page 1. I think everyone listening here probably wants to be on page 1 or number 1, and that's because they know there's a lot of traffic that comes from that, and that's absolutely true. We'll probably run through in a moment just some of the actual statistics of how many people actually do click on results from the first page and how rarely they go to the second and third pages. So to be ranking up there is fantastic, because you need to be. That's where everyone's searching at these days. They're not picking up the old yellow pages or anything like that. So we need to be on Google.
Yeah, so the stats we'll show you in a moment will reinforce that fact, and some of those stats will be quite surprising for a lot of people in the audience. How much traffic flows through directly to page 1 of the organic search results as opposed to the rest of the pages. Some mind-blowing stats there. Some stats that even surprised me. What do we like to hide on page 2, Andy? I know this is one of your favourite gags.
Again.
yeah, we're going to go back there.
All right. Well, most people want to hide a dead body there because no one's looking on page 2. So
right, it's the best place to hide a dead body because no one gets there. So
I sometimes whack it on page 3 just to make sure.
In case. Okay, perfect. So this is a constantly changing landscape, guys. So look, if we go back to and we're mostly talking about Google today, obviously, with regards to search engines, because that's what most people are using. But if we go back to the nuts and bolts and the premise behind what Google is trying to achieve and their vision for this space, what they're wanting to do, their goal is to deliver great search results that match your search queries. So if you put a search query in for Mornington Peninsula tourism attraction, for example, they are wanting those search results that come from that search query to match what you're looking for. If they can do that, then they're doing a great job. So
that's exactly right. They want to be the best search engine out there, and they probably are at the moment, but they can't rest on their laurels. They've got Bing and Yahoo and the other search engines hot on their heels. And they need to keep providing the best possible results for searchers, and they want people to keep remaining and using Google because that's how they make their money from the PPC, paid ads at the top of Google, which we'll touch on a bit too.
Yeah, so that hasn't changed. Google's goal has not changed. What has changed is what they determined to be a good result. So I guess 5 to 10 years ago. What they were doing is delivering these results and from your search queries. And look, to be honest, 9 times out of 10, they may not have been the best matched search result for your query. And that's because of some of the practices that were going on within our industry for search engine optimization.
Yeah, and you'll probably find that you used to have to refine your searches over and over and over again to get the result that you were actually looking for. Now you can sort of type in, that red-headed guy from that movie from 1999 starring Tom Cruise, and it'll come up with what the actor it was. I don't know, I was complete random.
So that's not a movie?
I'll pluck that out of thin air, that's not an actual movie.
Don't actually search for that, guys, because it's not a real thing. Okay, at position 0, what are we talking about here?
Well, position
maps?
Yeah, exactly. Position 0 and maps are the same thing. We call the maps spot position 0 because it generally is sitting above your traditional ranking number 1. So that's why we call it position 0. So it's a great little spot to get into. We'll give you a little bit of information on how to get in there in the next few slides along. But it's a great little spot. It's reasonably easy to get in there too.
Okay, so we're actually going to do a live search, if you will, on Google in front of your eyes. And we'll talk about some of these different aspects in more detail. Just a reminder as well, for the newbies on the call today that haven't attended one of our webinars already, typically what we like to do is, because there's usually a lot of questions and queries that come during the presentation, if you do have any queries, please do use the question function on your on the GoToWebinar dashboard there. What we'll do is we'll answer all of the queries at the end of the session, just because we may be covering off some of the information during, so we'll just save time and be a little bit more efficient that way. But please feel free to ask some questions. So we've talked about the map results. Everyone wants to be in the map results. A lot of people I talk to today, they're like, how do I get into the map results? I can see my competitors are there. How do I get there?
Yeah.
So you spoke about it, being at position 0, very, very important. So it's not just a few clicks of the button to get you there. It ties in with the organic search engine optimization and what you need to do.
It's particularly important for those sorts of, particularly for VTIC members, because you've got sort of location-based businesses. So it's really important for you guys to be showing up in that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. So as most of you know, we've got the ads at the top of the page. They used to be on the side of the search page as well. They've moved. As we'll show you shortly, they've become a little bit more subtle. Good word, yeah. A little bit more subtle, not so obvious. We feel that that's Google's clever way of getting more revenue and more people clicking on those results without realizing their ads. They don't actually cost you as the user, but of course they're costing the business who's posting the ad on Google. Yeah. We've got the organic results, so that's mostly what we're going to be talking about today. Those sort of, particularly on the first page, the 1 to 10 results and so on. How can we push yourself up the organic results as far as we can to get the best bang for buck? Title tags and meta descriptions. I think it's probably more worthwhile.
We'll do it in the demo.
We'll cover that off in the demo. Yeah. We're about to talk about the traffic on page 1 and also CTRs of each search query, so click-through rates of each particular search query. So some traffic stats that certainly blew my mind as I noted earlier. So what we're saying here is these are stats from Google, so let's take them as gospel. What Google says is true. I can see Ian laughing at us. It's true, Ian. It's true.
I believe you guys. I believe you.
Yeah, good. So what we're saying here is the first page receives 91.5% of all click-through traffic. So if we see a user that conducts a particular search, if they do end up clicking onto a result, a search query, 91% of people that do click through to a result are going to click through on the first page. Mm-hmm. So I guess
that leaves 8.5% of the remaining click-throughs to the remaining pages. So there's usually 10 to 20 pages per search term.
So if there's one piece of evidence that is glaringly obvious for me that reinforces the fact that getting onto page 1 is so important and is worth the effort, is worth the investment, it's that 91.5% of all click-through traffic goes to page 1. As we go down, second page receives 4.8, page 3 1.1, page 4 0.4, and then the rest battle for that remaining 2.2%. So if you're on page 10, it's a bit like Russian roulette. To get someone clicking on your result on page 10, you're going to be very, very lucky.
Yeah, it's got to be an incredibly uncompetitive space. So there's got to be virtually no valuable or relevant results for that particular search for someone to click through that many pages to get to your page wherever you're listed. So it's very unlikely, particularly for VTIC members.
So just looking at search behaviour, and I'm not suggesting I am the be all and end all of what people do, but I think I'm similar to a lot of people that my colleagues and friends and family. If I've searched for something in particular, I will usually open up 3, 4, 5 pages, maybe from the first page. Sometimes I'll go to the second page and just have a quick flick through, but we're all time poor these days. It's very unlikely that I'll go to page 3 or page 4 and have a good look around.
Yeah, if it's a big investment, then I might go through to the second page and sometimes the third. But if I'm just sort of looking for the closest cafe or the closest movie cinema or t-shirts online or something a bit lower value, I'm only going to the top 4 results probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. So. An exercise for you all to do following this session today, at some stage, would be to sit down as a business, as an organisation, and think, right, what are the things we want to be ranking for? If someone puts a particular search term in, is that what we're wanting to show for in Google? And just to do a bit of an exercise, write down your 5, 10, maybe most, biggest priority areas for you as a business in terms of driving traffic to your website as you see it, and see where you rank for those particular terms.
You might also be surprised how often those search terms are actually searched. So if you were looking to get some information on that, you can send either Reese or myself an email, and we can help you out with getting some sort of actual statistics or data around how often those search terms are getting searched per month.
Yeah, so for going back to my earlier example, Mornington Peninsula attractions, we can actually go into Google and look at how many times people use that search term a month.
Yeah.
It may not be searched very often. It may be Mornington Peninsula activities, for example. Good, yeah. Activities, for example. So we need to change and mold our content and website to suit that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then so to drill down even further for the click-through rates of page 1 in particular. So what we've got here on the screen, average results on page 1. So we've got 1 through to 10. So each search page on Google shows you 10 results.
Yeah, so that number we looked at before, that 91.5% of click-through rate happening on page 1, this is the 91.5% broken down per result. So 29% of that 91.5% is that first result.
Yeah. So to reinforce it even further, and I know I'm sort of labouring on this point somewhat, but 29% of all people that click through to a search result will click through onto the first result. 13.1%, these are averages obviously, but 13.1% will click onto the second result, and so on and so forth. So as you'll see, those sort of first probably 1 to 3, 1 to 4 results take up the lion's share of the click-through traffic on Google.
Yeah.
So important to be shown there. What we'll do now is we will quickly, we're just going to do a quick search. Now, what should we search for? I'm thinking somewhere
touristy.
Ian's actually delivered me a bottle of wine today, so I've got wine on the mind. I might just try Yarra Valley wine tours, just for a.
I'm looking forward to winning a bottle from you when Geelong next beat Richmond, Reese.
Right. 10 years' time. I hope we still know each other. Perfect. Here we go. So I'm going to let Andy show you through this page in a little bit more detail.
Yeah, so just to help break down what every element is on an actual page. So as we've touched on, these are your paid ads. So this is the pay-per-click or PPC or that's pretty much what you would have heard them as. So they're going to dominate the top, particularly if it's a competitive industry. If it's not as competitive, you might see 3 ads or 2 ads or no ads. But this is definitely very competitive. So there's 4 ads. That's as many as you'll see at the top. Then, as we said earlier, you've got your map pack. So this is your sort of position 0 that we like to call, because this right here, this is page 1. Oh, sorry, result number 1. Whereas this is sitting right above it, so we call it position 0. So it's really important to try and get positioned in here. So this is our good friends Australian Wine Tour Company. Hopefully they're tuned in today. They're ranking number 1 and they're in position 0. So that's exactly what we want to see there.
So I'm going to ask you a question right now, because I know this is going to come up from someone in the audience. How do I get in the map results?
Well, the map results, to start with...
Just to put you on the spot.
Yeah, well, to start with, it's done through Google My Business. So maybe after the webinar, you should all just try and find if you have a Google My Business. If you do, you probably want to optimize. You want to make sure there's images in it. You want to have the right name, business name. Make sure it's verified. There's a process you can go through for that. If you need any assistance, just give us a buzz after the webinar. But it's some pretty easy steps that you can take to get listed up in there. Also, getting reviews on them is really important too. So just to break down an actual individual result, So this is what we call a title tag. So it's just the title of the result. So the whole thing is called a result or a snippet. So this is the title of that snippet.
So you can set that?
Yeah, you can. For every single page, you can set all of this stuff. So you can set, obviously the URL is going to be unique for every page, but then you can also set this little description here called a meta description.
And this is particularly important, the meta description.
Yeah. I mean, they're both pretty important. It's an opportunity for you to sell yourself and give the user an idea of what they're going to be clicking into. So Australian Wine Tour Company, okay, they obviously specialise in wine tours. This page is probably specific to Yarra Valley Wine Tours. That's exactly what I searched. Yarra Valley Wine Tours, including day, private and premium tours, as well as overnight stays. That sounds lovely. I might give them a call. Bang, bang, bang. There's their email address as well.
So it's a clear ad, clear statement. There's character limits for this?
Yes, there are. Yep. So you want to sort of try and fit in as much information as you can, but you also don't want to overload it. You don't want to, some of the things you might see here, ... So it's getting truncated by Google automatically because it's going over the word limit, or character limit, I should say.
Right.
And these are site links as well, so you can manipulate what's going to be shown here too.
So they're quick links
quick
to other
links,
places on the website.
that you might be interested in, like gift vouchers or tour packages or the day tour perhaps.
Perfect.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what you're going to see on a particular page, and then as you go down to the bottom, you get some more ads as well.
Okay, right. Perfect.
And as we suggested, it's very subtle. All the only difference is that little square there now, ad. Used to be, bold in yellow, and then there used to be some over the side. There used to be very obvious what was an ad and what wasn't. Now, you can hardly tell. You'd almost, think you'd be forgiven for thinking that was an organic result.
And I think, in my view, I think it's going to be even more subtle.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to make it even more subtle, to be honest. But,
Google's clever. Google's, completely transparent.
Yeah. Well, as you can see, the ad is so small, but it's also green, so it blends in with the URL there. So it's very easy to
URL's down
miss.
the bottom of green as well, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah. There's not too much difference. Interesting.
Mm.
Thanks, Andy.
No worries.
Without further ado, we are going to crack back into the slide deck. Right. So we have SEO then and SEO now. So I guess this left-hand column is an interesting one for me. How long ago would this have sort of been the reality for search engine optimization and the practices that go within that discipline?
Well, I sort of came into the industry about 4 years ago, and this was probably the period where it was trying to transition away from that. So probably maybe I would say 5, 6 years
Right.
and beyond that,
Okay.
where these sort of techniques were used very commonly, and they were very effective. The reason why they were very effective is because Google's algorithm was a lot more simple. So it was easy to game the system back then. So things like keyword stuffing, which was simply just stuffing your website with the keywords that you wanted to rank for. And the reason that worked was because, as I said, it was a much more simple algorithm back then. So Google was just trying to provide results for people and thought, okay, well, this website, saying wine tours, Yarra Valley wine tours, a whole lot. That must be very relevant.
Yeah, so if they're saying it 500 times and the guy next door is saying it 10 times, well, who's more relevant?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's just a very simple version of trying to figure out what was a good result or not. Obviously, that is not indicative of a good result at all. In fact, it's probably the opposite, and that's why they actually penalise that now for overdoing it with the keywords, because they just... they don't want garbage out there. They don't want websites that are just, saying Yarra Valley wine tours, Yarra Valley, going over the board, because it's not indicative of a good website.
And because again, we're going back to the Google's premise, they want to deliver a good search result for the user of their search engines.
Exactly right.
Okay, so, and I dare say back, 5, 6, 7 years ago, when this discipline sort of really kicked off and people started to really talk about it, it was a lot easier as well. It was less competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. And because it was so simple to just throw some keywords in, it was a lot cheaper. So all these techniques that we'll run through from the then column, this left-hand column, they're all very, very simple things to do, and that's why it was almost like a product. You could just buy it off the shelf almost, whereas the sort of things that we do now is more of a service.
Okay.
Sorts of things we do are ongoing, more complicated, way more hands-on. You can't just sort of flick it overseas for some guys in the Philippines, which is what
was done.
Yeah, what was done, or in India. So should I crack on with the rest of it? What were you going to say?
Well, yeah, I guess I just wanted to highlight a point here. So if you conducted SEO 5-6 years ago and you thought of it at that stage as a product, and you thought, right, we've done SEO, we've ticked the box, we've taken our dare I say it, in inverted commas, insurance cover for SEO as a service, you're probably going to be, if you haven't already been, you will be left behind very, very shortly. We talk to a lot of businesses that have gone down that track, and that was great. It's perfect that you engaged in SEO back then, but the landscape has changed dramatically. And if you're still talking about things like meta keywords, for example, and link farming and keyword stuffing, then I dare say your competitors who are undergoing the new and updated and better version of SEO, modern, that's the word I was looking for, they will be overtaking you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Within this space. So yeah, it's probably worthwhile just talking quickly about what each of these things on the left-hand side are.
Yeah, we're going to touch on all the things on the right, so I'll try and not bore you. But link farming was essentially, that's another method that Google used to use, was looking at how many links are going to a website. So one website linking to another. So I might be a website that's talking about TVs, and I link to a cabinetry website.
Okay.
Because they make beautiful cabinets that suit my TVs. So I link to their website. So Google sees that and goes, oh, okay, well, this person's linked to them. That's a trustworthy website. Well, this one must be a pretty good website too. So they didn't necessarily look at the quality of the links back then, so you could just farm links. So there used to be these, what they called link farms, which were just websites that you used to pay, and they would just link to your website.
So low quality links,
yeah,
and it would just be as many as you could get in a shorter period of time as possible.
That's exactly right. So you could pay someone or a company or an SEO company, and they would build 1,000 links for about $1,000.
Really?
So they'll just throw it out there and get all these link farms to link back to that particular website. Again, Google frowns upon this. It doesn't do anything for you. In fact, it harms you. You can get penalized, and you can lose all your rankings and be de-indexed.
Yeah, so
not showing on Google at all.
Yeah.
By de-indexed.
Yeah, and just to quickly highlight here, because I don't want anyone to be confused about this that's listening in today, link building is still very, very important. So don't dismiss that as a practice, but Google is paying a lot more attention to the quality of the link and the relevancy of that particular link between both businesses or both websites. So still do that, but just don't go down the track of just putting your link or creating links to as many websites as possible.
Very good point. If you can build relationships with partners and write blogs for each other, that's a fantastic way of getting some links.
So the
technical basics, they're still relevant now. So that's changed a little bit. But these are things like, your site speed, and if there are broken links, and if you've got an XML sitemap. We'll touch on a few of those things later. Most of those things still exist and are important. It's just probably a bit more sophisticated.
Right.
Meta keywords, kind of like keyword stuffing, but they still do have this section where you identify the keywords that you wanted to rank for. So you'd be sort of saying, hey Google, these are the keywords that are important for my website, my business. Please try and rank me.
So this is the back end of the website?
Yeah, in the back end.
Okay.
So you can still put this, but this is another thing that Google just ignores. You don't get penalized for putting it in there, but they just don't look at it.
And when we bring on new clients, it's interesting. They say, hey, by the way, these are the meta keywords we're wanting to target. And so we have to go down that education process of it's not like that anymore. The landscape has changed. And we'll move on to how it has changed.
Yeah, or they jump in the back end and they see that the meta keywords, there's nothing in there, and go, hey, why don't we have the meta keywords in there? And then, again, we have to go down that path of education.
We'll play them this webinar, maybe.
Perfect. Title tags and meta descriptions, we touched on those in the live demo. That's part of the result that comes up for each particular page. Again, that used to be a very keyword stuffy thing. It used to just jam it full of keywords. Now it's less like that. It's more about the click-through rate. So are people clicking through? Google's looking at that a lot more. So again, they don't want results that are just sort of throwing keywords down. They want like nice, clean results because that's what users generally want, something that reads well.
Right. Okay.
So that's changed a little bit. Citations, that sort of hasn't really changed.
So business directories?
Things like yellow pages. You yell Google My Business, which is the maps results. That's the most important one. That hasn't changed too much. That's just sort of almost a verification process with Google, sort of saying this is my name, my business name, my address, and my phone number, and it's on this website, this website, this website, this website.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Okay. Right. So, and then we look at the list on the right, and this is a little bit daunting to me. Like it looks long and arduous. Do we need to be doing all of these things at once? Do they all need to be done at the same time? Where do we start?
That's a good point.
All of the above.
I'm just going to go through them.
Okay. I'll put you on the spot again.
Yeah, I'll shout out whether they're important. I mean, they're all very important. Sometimes the technical fixes are the most important things to just get out of the way.
First and foremost?
Yeah, sometimes you're not going to be anywhere unless you tick off some of these technical boxes. So you might have a robots.txt that's saying, don't index my site.
Right.
So it's telling Google, don't worry about indexing my site. So you've got to change that straight up. So there's some of those sorts of things that doesn't matter what else you do. If you haven't done that one technical fix, you're not going to be showing up. So there are a few of those. But, I mean, all of them are incredibly important. All of them play a part. If you're doing all of these things,
you'll be doing very well.
You'll be doing well, yeah.
Okay, so let's start. Humanized content.
Well, it's essentially just the opposite to the keyword stuffing. So you want something that reads well, and you actually want people to read the content. So you have to be, excuse me, you have to be thinking about the way that the content is presented. So people don't really like big slabs of text. They like it to be broken up with imagery. They like, bolded text here and there. They like nice headings, short paragraphs, dot points. So you actually want people to read. You want people to spend time on your website because Google's looking at that. They're looking at
those engagement rates.
Yeah, exactly. How long people are spending on a website, how many pages they click through to. So it's no good just having a big slab of content that just has keyword after keyword, or every second or third word is some sort of keyword. It's not going to cut it because no one wants to read it.
It becomes obvious as well. Like we look at websites, even in our industry sometimes, just to keep a tab on the competitive landscape, and we come across websites providing search engine optimization here in Melbourne, for example, and it's amazing that there are still websites from people within our discipline that should be preaching the practice we're talking about today, that they're going down this track of putting search engine optimization in Melbourne as many times as they can onto their homepage, and just absolutely litter it through the page, and it becomes very obvious to the reader what you're trying to achieve. So unfortunately, some websites have gotten away with it because they were already ranking, so they had these old techniques that helped them to rank, number one. And then that hasn't changed because people just keep clicking on them and keep using their website. So some people have been very fortunate. They've invested in SEO back in the day, and their old techniques are still kind of paying off in a way. But if you're going to start now, you can't be doing that old stuff. Yeah, you can't be doing the old stuff. Yeah, okay. So digestible, easy to engage content. Technical fixes, we're going to touch on those in a bit more detail in a moment. We've already spoken about them briefly. Title tags and meta descriptions we've covered off. Citations, so business directories, still important, but not as important as they were. Schema. Yeah, Schema is a markup tool for Google. So this is easy to access information that's relevant to your business that Google can present to users within Google. So if I search
VTIC phone number.
Mm-hmm.
That Google's going to look for the schema information and find where that schema code has identified the VTIC phone number, and it's going to throw that up. So you might have done that before. Someone's address, a business address, or a business's phone number, and it'll just show that up straight away at the top of the search results, just to give you quick answers. So you want your business to be marked up. And it's also another verification process with Google to say, hey, this is our phone number, this is our business name,
right?
This is what you're going to look to,
okay,
to determine what this website is about and where it is.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. NAP, so that's name, address, phone number. So that's ensuring that everywhere your name, address, and phone number are on the internet, wherever you may find it online, it's consistent and it remains the same format, even down to having the commas in the same place.
Yeah. Or the +61 and the 03, those sorts of things.
Very, very important, because they all reinforce that your business is in the online forum, I guess, as a source, and all of those key details. We're going to talk about page speed in a moment, mobile optimization in a moment. So just to touch on link building again, and just to reinforce the point that I made earlier, it's still very, very important, but it's the quality of the link that we're focusing on now, not the number. Okay, so if you can undertake some quality outreach programs with some of your partners potentially in the industry, and have a link back to your website to from a credible, authoritative site in the online world, perfect, go and do it. But just don't focus on the number and getting as many as you can. It's not best practice.
No.
Great website, and I guess also user engagement metrics. They sort of tie in nicely together.
Yeah, and same with the natural humanized content at the top there. The page speed and the mobile optimization. That's all about having a really good experience for the user. So again, Google's looking at the user experience a lot more. So if you're looking at your website and it's a little bit dry and dull and there's a bit too text heavy and you're just not too sure about it, it's probably a good indication that other people are maybe not too interested in it either. And you might need to reassess that.
And it's relatively new in the industry. I said relatively new, that you're focusing on great website and user engagement metrics. We feel that this is going to become even more important as time goes on.
Yeah.
That you're delivering once Google delivers a good result for your search query, that it's again backed up and reinforced by a fantastic user experience on your website as well.
Yeah, our two worlds, because we've got a bit of a 50-50 split between web design and digital marketing, and those two worlds used to be reasonably separate. They've become so much more connected with each other these days, and we recommend a good quality website all the time as part of a digital marketing strategy.
That's a good question. We get asked it a lot. Should we start marketing first, or should we focus on the website? Both. Yeah, both best case scenario, but if you've got a terrible website and you're sending traffic to it, then they're never going to convert. So
and you're actually hurting your rankings chances, because if people are going to a bad website, they're probably clicking back, and that's indicating to Google that you weren't a good result. So actually kind of almost hurting your rankings by doing that.
So it's counterintuitive.
Yeah, in a way, so to speak.
Okay. We can touch on social media, AdWords, and display in a moment, a little bit later on. That's some of the additional elements that we can consider as part of this drive to get your business up the organic rankings. Outreach, that sort of ties in with link building that we touched on just a moment ago. And we've got a slide popping up shortly regarding content generation in particular. So the tech stuff. I'm just pouring this up. My mouse has decided to lock up on me. Here we go. What Google wants. So, as we noted, this has always been something that Google's placed a relatively high amount of importance on, in terms of what they want from the back end of your website. This is the tech stuff. These are the boxes that we need to tick in terms of Google seeing your website as a good source, as a good place to send traffic to on the internet. So it starts with a fast website. So according to Kissmetrics, a bit of an industry source of information for ourselves, 47% of visitors expect a website to load in less than 2 seconds, and 40% of visitors will leave the website if the loading process takes more than 3 seconds. So if you're not under 3 seconds, guys, you're really starting to struggle.
Yeah, you could be losing, a good chunk of your website traffic if it's anywhere between 3 and above. Yeah, you really need to just check that. You can simply check that by just going to your website in a private browser and just
seeing how
putting
long
a
it takes.
stopwatch on.
So there's a few things you can do there. We've noted a couple of them at the bottom of this list. Compressing your images. So generally, that largely has quite an effect on your website in terms of how fast it loads. If you've got images on there that look absolutely beautiful, but they're 10 gigabytes in size, it's a big image, that's going to take a long time to load. So you can still have the same image, but compress it in the back end and have it loaded.
Yeah, the quality can be exactly the same. You wouldn't ever notice it, but it'll just bring it down to kilobytes instead of megabytes.
Yeah, and making sure your website is AMP enabled right at the bottom of that list. What does that mean, Andy, just quickly?
It's accelerated mobile pages. It's actually only rolled out for blog pages, so you can't have it for the whole website. So it's just for quick loading blog pages. But really, really important if you're writing regular content.
Okay. Ensuring your site is mobile optimized. So if your website isn't mobile optimized, then generally you're going to lose what we see across the industry, all industries at the moment. You're generally going to lose about half your traffic.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because they're going to bounce straight away. They're not getting a great experience on their mobile, which generally there's so many people that going to view your website.
A good example is Tim from Cave Hill Creek. His website receives 60% through tablets and mobile devices. So it's actually over 50%.
Okay.
So it's really, really important that your mobile is responsive, so it sizes down for every device that it's viewed upon, so it can be used and interacted with. Google typically doesn't show up anyone in the top 10 results if it's not mobile optimized.
Okay.
So yeah, as Rez said, if you've got 50% of your traffic coming from mobile, you could be losing all of that. Okay. So it's really, really important to get that fixed.
Good. And Google notices those terrible engagement metrics, and they definitely penalise you.
Well, it's a pain to have to pinch and zoom on those websites, isn't it? Small little buttons.
No one likes pinching.
Or zooming.
Yeah, or zooming. XML sitemap. So what an XML sitemap does, it provides Google with a full list of the URLs that we're saying are most important to the website. These are the pages that you want to rank for, so really, really important. Robots.txt, similar to an XML sitemap, except it tells the crawlers what not to bother with. So some sites have, as an example, an intranet. It's not important that Google ranks those pages. We don't want them to be looking at those pages, so we can actually tell Google via the robots.txt file to ignore those. We need to ensure that crawl errors are fixed. So if you make changes to the website, add pages, remove pages, edit URLs, we need to change and alter these links to your site. It's important to add those redirects where necessary. The dub resolve, one of my favourites. Yeah, I'm going back in time. This is a basic one, but still very, very important. Basically, what it is sometimes your website, if you put in www.vtic.com.au, it'll go to that domain. If you put it without the www at the start, and it goes to that domain without the www, what it's effectively saying is you've got two websites on the internet, and you're trying to rank for both.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is resolve one or the other to redirect to the other.
It's a little bit confusing, but test it yourself. If you've got your website and you put in www.yourwebsite.com, does it go to without the www? Or if you put in without the www, does it resolve to the www? I made it even more complex.
I think Ian's glazed over. So if Ian's glazed over, we're in trouble.
Oh, God, we might move on then.
Give us a call. We can test it very, very quickly.
Crashed.
A favourite.
How do they? What's your number, guys? How do they call you?
Probably the best number to call us on is 03 8695 9191.
46 9191.
Yep,
that's
my number.
That's yours.
That's Reese, people. For those of you who don't know.
Or add a 46 on the end.
Yeah, 9146 is my extension.
So what was that again, just so everyone's got it right?
Yep, 038695 9191 or 9146 is either of us.
I think the switchboard's just lit up.
It's just gone crazy. Right, ready to crack on.
Gone viral.
The favicon. This is the little image that you can see on your little website tab. So we've got a little W for the branding up in your in the search browser right up the top. It's an important. Just improves user experience and gives Google a bit of a nice touch there. The Google Plus Publisher Markup. This is linking your Google Plus business page with your website. Very, very important. So we need to ensure that is undertaken. And alt attributes. This is these are little tags that you put on your images that describe the image. So crawlers look for this information and it can help them interpret the image and how it relates to the page. It's also really, really useful for Google image searches as well. So I'm just looking at the clock now. Yes, we need to crack on. We've got 14 minutes. We're good and not good. So let's go. Content is still king. So this is a common phrase we use in this industry. So content, whether it be written content, whether it be blogs, so that can still be written, but it can also include some mixed content through infographics and imagery and things. Also video content, potentially interactive elements like quoting tools and forms and what have you, booking forms maybe. They're all very, very important. We need to build your website out with content right through the inner pages, also on your blog pages. If you've also got video, include the video as well. What we're trying to do here is to provide a forum or an online source that your users and your visitors can engage with easily. The more they do that, the longer they stay on your website, the more interesting your content is, the better this is going to be for your rankings.
I've got a good example actually, Reese, for blogs.
Okay.
So one of our recent clients, Argent Law firm in Richmond and Malvern, we've done some really, really good blog writing for them.
If we don't say ourselves.
Well, I mean, the data speaks for itself, so that's why I'm saying it. It's not a subjective thing, it's a data-driven answer to this.
Well said, Andy.
I thought you wrote this blog.
No. So recently, in the last 7 days, the second most visited web page, or landed on page, was a blog that we wrote about how your ex-spouse might be entitled to your inheritance, so during your separation. Anyway, it was a very interesting blog, but that's the second most visited page on the entire website.
So that shows that people are searching.
Yeah, so people are sort of maybe searching things like, oh, is my ex-wife entitled to my inheritance during my separation?
Right.
Fun fact: this precedent has been set. It's true. They can be entitled to some of the property inheritance.
And obviously, a lot of people are searching that type of query because it's a visited source. So.
And it's also very relevant to their business. So Google also sees that. Mm-hmm. So people are searching law-related questions, and Argent Law is coming up, and people are reading that blog. So then Google gives that a little tick.
Right.
And says, all right, this is very relevant. These guys are sort of an authority on law topics. And the same happened with another blog. It did even better than the previous one before.
Oh, okay, and so
we've got 2 conversions as well.
So it's gone from actually delivering a great user experience and a source of information through to actually providing the business with a lead as well. So think about how you can build your content out and provide, your potential audience some value, and potentially answer some of their queries as well. Those what, those why, the how. The where type questions that people are so often typing into Google these days.
Yeah, and if you can be really relevant and current, that really helps too. So if there's been changes in the industry, be right on it and write something about it. Put your opinion out there. Link to valuable resources, government websites, things like that, and you'll see some benefits if you're tracking the data.
We're going to touch on that in a minute. Additional elements of digital marketing that sort of play into this space and certainly help you to boost you up the ranking. So two of our clients that we've spoken about today, Australian Waitu and Company, and also Cave Hill Creek. They're on the right-hand side. So what this is doing is, by putting things out there on social media, this is helping our website, and it's helping our organic rankings in a couple of ways. First, it's providing some social proof, so it's reinforcing our business in a social forum. Secondary, it's building, I guess, an online relationship with our client base, or our potential client base, and improving that life cycle value. But also, and I know you want to speak about this, Andy, it's driving traffic back to our website, which is helping from a user engagement standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. But more traffic to your website, if you've got a good website, gives you more opportunity to have users use your website and Google to see that. So if it's a good website, users are going to notice it.
And again, pay-per-click advertising, multiple benefits here. Of course, if someone clicks on your ad and it drives that visitor back to your website, then hey, great. It's obviously delivered them a search result that's in line with their search query. But secondary to that, the spin-off benefit is that we're increasing the amount of visitors to our website. We're increasing the level of engagement that Google can see, and the amount of data it can glean its insights from. That's going to have a positive benefit as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's similar to that Facebook one we just touched on, and all these extra ones are what we say is like an indirect benefit to your ranking. So more touch points, more areas where you can bring people to your website is better. So more people to your website is always going to be better if you've got a good website.
Okay, right.
So this is another method, the display remarketing. So we can remarket to people who have been to our website previously. So it might be a slightly longer sales cycle.
Right.
They might not be buying straight off the bat. They might be thinking about it, doing their research. If you can sort of come up front of mind again and again over a course of a couple of weeks or a month, you're going to have a better chance of closing that sale. Good brand awareness. You can also sort of indirectly target your competitors. So you can target people who are similar to people who have been to your website, similar to that. So that's effectively targeting competitors' customers.
Yep. Perfect. Makes sense to me. So once we think we have done all of these, undertaken all these disciplines, and we've got our website looking shipshape, remember it's not a once time fix, if you will, set and forget. You need to continually update your website and continually show it love and improvement. But some of the reporting tools that we certainly use within our role in the industry are listed here. So WooRank is a great tool that we use, and it conducts a bit of a technical audit on your website and gives you a quick heads up on what things need to be improved from a technical standpoint.
Yeah, definitely recommend everyone jump on searching WooRank. It'll come up. You can just pop your website URL in, and it'll give you some ideas around what's missing and what you've ticked off.
Yes, it'll give you a ranking score, and then also it'll give you a list of the actual things that need to change and improve.
So what do you do then? You just Google WooRank and see what happens.
WooRank.com, it'll come up, and I believe that you can get a free
trial. Yeah, so you can just get to submit one URL. So obviously you use your own business website, and as Reece said, it gives you a big list of things that you're doing well and things that you need to work on in terms of technical and the title tags and those sorts of things.
Yeah. Okay. SEM Rush.
Yeah, it's a pretty advanced tool. If you're in a competitive space, it's good to look at competitors.
Okay.
And what they might be getting in terms of links and traffic and those sorts of things, and how they're ranking.
To get the real insights out of that particular tool, it's a paid tool, so you might need to give someone like us a call to get some access there. What's my SERP and SERP? So what SERP stands for is Search Engine Result Page.
Yep.
So those are two examples of particularly what's my SERP. Going to that page, putting in the keywords or key phrases you're wanting to rank for, and that can give you some accurate search rankings for what you're actually looking for.
It's a free tool. It's a little bit cumbersome and a little bit slow to use. but you can get some static snapshots of where your website is currently ranking for the list of keywords that you put in, so that you don't have to manually search for each one and then try and find where your website is ranked. So if you're ranking spot 50, you have to click through 50 pages to finally find that where you're ranking for that one key term. That allows you to do it all in the one go. But it is static, so you don't get to see it over time. Whereas search, you get that historical data, that search tool below.
Okay. Keyword Explorer, OpenSite Explorer, and Moz Rank Tracker.
Yep, they're all through Moz. So Moz is probably the leading industry, what would you call it, figurehead?
Yes, but in the SEO world.
In the SEO world, yep. That's probably the most prominent place to find information about digital marketing. They have a bunch of tools there. Some are free. There's sort of freemium versions on there. So Keyword Explorer helps you find some great keywords. OpenSite Explorer helps you find backlinks. And the Moz Rank Tracker is another tool to track where your keywords are ranking.
Okay.
Or where you're ranking for keywords, I should say.
Yes. Google Analytics and Google Search Console.
Yeah, these are free. They're must-haves. Google Analytics. If you don't have this, I mean, you're not really doing SEO in my mind. You need to be tracking all your data. You need to be looking at the lowest hanging fruits, and you can find that sort of information from Google Analytics. It'll tell you all these sorts of things. You'll find some really, really key insights that'll help you spend your money wisely, really.
Okay.
And Google Search Console is a bit more of a technical tool to let you know how your website's ticking along and the crawl errors, which we've touched on.
Yes, and then we've got custom reporting platform. I'll put in brackets Webfirm there. You could,
I guess, myriad of them.
There's a myriad of them, and look, if you're using an agency, they may have their own reporting tool or reporting platform that you're using. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go through that in too much detail today, but pretty much what we use here at Webfirm is a reporting platform that touches on all of these things at once, including your social media, your keyword ranking, so you can go in 24/7 and look at wherever you're wanting to, wherever your keywords are ranking, you can get an accurate picture of that data, all of your website traffic, your conversions, etc., etc.
Yeah, it brings in your AdWords, brings in your social media advertisements, so you're sort of getting data from every single possible resource in the one place. So it's also got call tracking available in there too, so you can track all the website, the calls that have been attributed from the website
The
to your business.
shop.
Yeah, one-stop shop for all your data. Very, very swifty.
Right,
Swifty.
Did you just make that word up?
That's like nifty and swish or something. Swifty.
I don't know what it is, but anyway, we're going to move on from that. So we're going to do some Q&A now. We've got a couple of minutes left. I know Ian wants to get off to a sausage sizzle, I think.
Thanks very much, guys.
No worries. But while we're answering some questions, just a quick highlight of the offer we've got there on the screen there. So it's a special VTIC offer we've put together as part of our partnership with the team there at VTIC. It's a complimentary digital strategy recommendation. That's a lot of big words, but effectively what it means is for no obligation for you to give us a call, and we can take a snapshot, sort of bird's eye view of your strategy as it looks now, and make some quick recommendations about the things that you can put in place, some quick wins, if you will, to start shifting the needle in this space.
That's sensational. Did they call you for that one, Reese?
Yes, I'll put my details up in a moment, Ian.
Beautiful.
Including Andy's as well, our email addresses. So look, even if you've got an agency that's looking after your stuff now, give us a call. We're happy to have a look and just make some objective recommendations based on the presentation today and the things that we've covered off. But without further ado, I know we've got quite a few questions that we need to square off here. So going right back to the start, we've got a question from Laurel. How do I remove images that are not relevant to my business on Google, i.e. other accommodation, not images of my hotel? Is that?
So Laurel,
yes.
Are you referring to? Well, if you are referring to, oh sorry, we've got another little follow up from Laurel. What is luxury lawn accommodation? Okay. So if you're referring to other images that people are tagging, they might be putting up on their own website somewhere, and they might have tagged it up with your name, perhaps, with your hotel name. That's hard to prevent that. You can contact them, directly. You can sort of right-click on the image and find out where it's from, and you can contact them if it's a particular image that you really, really don't want your name associated with. There are ways of sort of following the, backtracking and trying to find out who posted that originally. But yes, if you need some more information about that, just hit me or Reese up.
Yeah.
Or Reese and I.
Reese and I. And Laurel, you asked my email. I'll show that in a moment on the screen, but if you're about to shoot off, it's reese.kerr, Kerr, @webfirm.com. Is it possible to be on page 1 without paying for an ad? A question from Simone. Absolutely, Simone. That is our goal. Of course, if you're wanting to engage in an AdWords campaign, by all means do so, because it can certainly, as we've noted, help you out organically. And certainly it's another stream of visitors to your website. But in the ideal world, we want to be on page 1 without having to pay for anything whatsoever, apart from, I guess, potentially your own time or someone like a digital agency to undertake these things for you.
I suppose SEO is kind of paid in a way, because you will be probably paying someone to undertake that. But the difference between PPC, pay-per-click, the ads, and organic, which is the unpaid, the SEO, is that once you've sort of built some value, you get to build value into your website for SEO. So if you've got #1 rankings, your website is worth a lot more than a website that's paying for ads, because once you stop the PPC, you've got nothing to show for it. So it actually builds value into your website and your business. So if you ever wanted to sell it, you can say, hey, look, I've got this business that's ranking #1 for these fantastic keywords. We get this much traffic, etc., etc. You've actually got some value there that you can show for.
Yeah, so that was a long-winded answer to a very short question, Simone, by both of us. But yes, you can be on page 1 without paying for an ad. You need to undertake the disciplines that we've covered off today, and that will set you on the road to success in this space. Question from Catherine. We are on the first page. Google search for School Camp Victoria. Well done, Catherine. Great work. But we are not shown on the map. Will you cover off the difference between these two? So we sort of covered this off briefly. We're talking about Result 0, if you will, the map pack and School Camp Victoria. I'm going to let you answer this one, Andy.
Yep. So Catherine, probably the best thing to do if you're not too sure about Google My Business, and if you have one or what it is, then it's easy to just call me, because I can give you some easy tips on how to manage that page, or perhaps you can give me access and I can help you out there. But essentially that's linked with Google's application called Google My Business, where you enter in the information about your business, which will help you to then show up in those match results. And it's always good to get people to review you on there. You can get starred reviews. That helps with your visibility in those map results too.
Perfect. So yeah, you need to actually optimize your Google My Business page.
Yeah, it's like SEO for the Google My Business.
Yeah, and there's no, I guess we can't cover that off in a quick 2-minute speech about how to do that, but if you're wanting to cover that off with us, Catherine, give us a call. We'd be more than happy to help you out. I've got 3 more questions here from Laurel, so I'm just going to quickly list them off. How do we get links at the bottom of the listing? How do you do technical fixes? And also, how do we make the website AMP enabled? The technical fixes and AMP enabled, I guess, and even the links at the bottom of the listing, similar to what I may have just covered off with Catherine, it's a little bit difficult to provide a quick 2-minute, I guess, tutorial on how to do that.
For the AMP, there is a simple plugin. If you're using WordPress, you can download an AMP plugin, and that will provide. Generally, it's just as simple as clicking a few buttons, and then your blogs will be AMP enabled. It's just about then making sure that it looks okay and operates okay. You might have to tinker with some settings. That one's reasonably easy. Technical fixes, I mean, how long's a piece of string kind of thing.
Yeah, depends what they are.
Yeah, we don't know what your website's technical issues are, Laurel, but give us a call if you're looking so much for help there.
Yeah, generally with technical fixes, with a lot of them, we actually need to engage with our developers here and digital producers to undertake that work. So certainly over my head, probably Andy can do a little bit of it, but yeah, it's probably give us a call. We can do a quick word rank and identify what technical things need to be improved, and we can go from there. A question
Got one from Gary.
Yes.
Do we need to worry about Bing? Well, Bing is another search engine like Google. We typically tend not to worry about that too much, because the things that you do for Google will have an impact on on Bing as well. We're seeing some really good value in doing some PPC via Bing because it's less competitive, so you get some really cheap conversions there compared to Google's.
Great, thanks, Gary. Question from Sarah. We're going to launch our new website soon. Should we bring across our old blog entries or enter a bunch of new ones?
Absolutely, bring them across. Yep.
And enter some new ones.
Yes.
Do both.
Do both. Yeah. You definitely need to bring across the old blog, Sarah, because that's helping your existing ranking, and it's built your existing authority in your domain, and we need to continue with that and build on that as the foundation.
Yeah, and just make sure that whoever you're getting it built with, that you've got the redirects in place, because you might have some really well-ranking web pages, and then with the build of a new website, you've got a different URL, so you need to make sure the old one's redirecting to the new one, so you keep that value, that ranking value you once had.
Makes sense. Laurel, how do I do all of this and run a business? Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Sorry about that, Laurel. We certainly weren't wanting to overwhelm you. Yeah, it is difficult to do both at the same time. I guess that's why a lot of people engage with people like us to undertake this for them. It's a horses for courses approach, but if you want to give us a call and we can hopefully make you feel a little bit less overwhelmed, by all means, please do so. Question from Nick. Is it worth having a second domain that more closely aligns to a major keyword search?
No. Nick, if you already have one and it's got a website under it and it's got some sort of value in it, I would redirect it into your brand name one. Brand names are much more important these days than a keyword one. But your question is, should I buy a new one? Absolutely not. There's no point, because then you're going to be splitting your marketing budget and your website development budget across two sites rather than just making one site much, much better. So don't worry about keyword anything really. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, for even business.
Waste the money.
Yeah, we often get asked when businesses open up a new service stream or a new product, they say, hey, should we start this on a new domain? We say no every single time, because we want them to build out the authority in the one website as opposed to splitting efforts across two.
Yeah, exactly. If you're paying someone to write blogs, now you got to get them to write two lots of blogs, and everything has to double up, and there's no point. You're better off putting that extra budget into a PPC campaign or something like that.
Yes. Facebook
or whatever it might be.
Great.
Good question, though.
Yeah, so look, just one or two more questions. Sorry, guys, we're holding you up now. Hopefully not. Should you put videos directly on your website or load them to YouTube with a link?
Good question. It's actually better to load them into YouTube first and have that link. It just runs a lot smoother. People who host it on their own site, it just takes a bit longer. Often there's a bit of buffering issues. So yeah, although YouTube doesn't look that great sometimes, it's better for loading. Absolutely.
And just a reminder on that this webinar itself will be available on the VTIC YouTube site by the end of the week as well.
Perfect. Great. Good plug-in. Do check out the YouTube channel for VTIC. There's lots of really valuable content, including past webinars as well.
Absolutely.
Last question now from Mac. What should an SEO/ad campaign cost? Thanks, Mac. Interesting question. Look, I'm not trying to handball this too much or dismiss this, but it's a really difficult one just to put a number out there. There are companies out there that are spending thousands of dollars on this every year. Equally, there's some that are spending $500-600 a month and getting good results that way as well. It really depends on your competitive environment, what you're wanting to rank for, the type of website you've got, I guess how broad your geographic reach is as well. Like if you're trying to do this across Australia, of course the investment required is going to grow and climb. But yeah, if you're wanting to chat about that in more detail, Matt, more than happy to put some numbers your way. I think that's it for the moment, unless you've got any questions, Ian, for yourself, for the business you moonlight on the side with?
None from me, guys. Okay. That was sensational, gentlemen. Thank you very much, and thanks to all the people who have signed in this morning. But hey, before we go, a couple of reminders. As you know, VTIC webinars are monthly. Our next one will be the 18th of October. When, again, together with Webfirm, we're presenting Sherry-Link Communications and how to smarten up your Chinese marketing strategy. That is certainly a good one. And then another one on the 22nd of November. Again, there's a trend here, the third Wednesday of every month. This one's on government grants. We can show you where to look. And we're doing that one in conjunction with our friends at Oz Industry and the Commonwealth Department of Education.
Lots of value there.
The Chinese one sounds fantastic.
Yeah, so again, they're all on the VTIC website, vtic.com.au, and then just click on the events tab. What else have we got coming up? 4th of October, our Mixer series continues, brand new venue at the Pullman on the Park. That's the opposite the MCG. So looking forward to seeing you 5:30 on the 4th of October for that one. And then again, the next one after that, the 1st of November, the Victorian Tourism Awards Gala ceremony, 23rd November. Tickets are available now. Again, jump onto the VTIC website and get your ticket for the Gala ceremony. And also coming out 11th of December, the Industry Christmas Party, put on in conjunction with DML and the Melbourne Convention Bureau, Destination Melbourne, that is, the Melbourne Convention Bureau. We're looking forward to having a great evening there with as many of our industry friends as possible. Again, a reminder, this webinar will be available on the VTIC YouTube site. So again, on vtic.com.au, at the very top, there's a link to our YouTube site. And gentlemen, any final points, any final comments?
No, just thank you very much for all attending today. We really appreciate you taking an hour out of your busy schedules and attending to listen to Andy and I preach about how great SEO is for the last hour. But I guess just a final, point to square off everything is, it does take a lot of effort now to improve your organic rankings. It's not a simple tick of the box in the back end of your website any longer. But the payoffs are massive in terms of what it can deliver to your business in the online space as well.
Well put.
Yeah. So a final sign off then, as we always do, it is now traditional at the VTIC webinars, improving the world, one VTIC webinar at a time. See you next month.
Cheers, guys.